Full disclosure, a review copy of this game was provided to me either by its publisher or development team. Darksiders Genesis, just a little too much. Darksiders Genesis, as the name hints, is a prequel to the Darksiders series, the story of before hell was unleashed on Earth and can be played either solo or with a friend. Here you play as two of the four horsemen, Strife and the returning war from the original Darksiders. Right off the bat, you'll notice this isn't your typical Darksiders game. This is a top-down hack-and-slash game with light puzzle elements thrown in. Hopefully we'll still get a solo Strife game, because in Genesis he shares the spotlight with War, and by the game's end, I feel as though War ends up stealing the spotlight. Here in Darksiders Genesis, you essentially go forward, sometimes on horseback, most of the time on foot, to take down enemies, throw switches and make your way to the end of a level to take down its boss and move on. It's the same hook for all 13 hours of this game's runtime. Strife and War both play differently, and their differences in abilities and upgrades adds a layer of planning, strategy, and approach to the world and battles. I was initially in love with this game, searching every crack and crevice for its secrets to ensure I had the most powerful horsemen as possible, and I enjoyed this hook until about hour 8. This is where I started to become a bit over the game, as everything starts to feel like it's just too much. As you progress the game, much like the main Darksiders games, you'll unlock new items that can be used in combat, but more importantly are used as puzzle solvers. And the abundance of puzzles, especially those that hide secrets behind them, is what just drained the soul out of me, pun intended. There's just far too much puzzle solving for how long of a game this is. Don't get me wrong, Darksiders Genesis is paced perfectly, puzzles, platforming, and secret hunting spread out the battles, keeping the combat fresh and fun rather than a nuisance. This is helped by the fact that you're rewarded with souls that you can use to upgrade your character and buy cores to plug into your bonus/boost tree, cores that enemies will sometimes drop during combat as well. But there's just too much puzzle and problem solving that it discourages me from wanting to sit and play for long hours at a time. I started to become just mentally exhausted after playing 6 hours straight of what started to feel like chapters that drug on forever. I came to a point where I told myself one more chapter, sleep, and finish the game for a review tomorrow, because this is starting to become so unfun to me. And it's not that the puzzles are challenging, it's just that there's too much of it. Every secret is hidden behind a puzzle rather than just really well hidden like a God of War, for example, a game that Darksiders clearly draws inspiration from. It's okay for a secret here and there to be puzzle trapped, but every single one is just exhausting after a while, especially in a game that's 13 hours long. In my opinion, no puzzle heavy game has any business being over 10. With so many puzzles, the experience should have been tightened more. That aside, the gameplay and combat are a blast. Playing as Strife with his ranged combat, switching to War and bringing in that brute force while Strife heals a bit, the back and forth and weapon variety between the two characters keeps you glued to your seat, keeps you engaged as every encounter feels just the right amount of challenging. And again, thanks to being rewarded, I felt the urge to start fights myself, and that's when you know you have a great combat system in place, when you seek the fights. Back in the hub world, you can go into arenas and battle through 10 waves to unlock different rewards, but I just feel the rewards are far too small to be worth the effort. So sort of a throwaway feature. All in all though, Darksiders Genesis is a refreshing jump into a world of soul gathering that's so fun to play at times you forget that you're playing a top-down hack-and-slash game. You feel immersed into this world. I give Darksiders Genesis an 8 out of 10. If you played Darksiders Genesis, tell me what you thought about it down in the comment section below. If you haven't played it, tell me if you're not picking it up. Thumbs up. If you liked the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow me on Instagram at Superken Gaming. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay beautiful.
A wall this big always has something fun on the other side. I've seen bigger. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
If you like this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon so that I can continue to bring you reviews for all the newest games at patreon.com/superkengaming. You'll get access to early audio and video versions of reviews, exclusive Let's Play videos, and you'll even get to choose the game I play next. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay beautiful.